are no cameras recording. There is no hidden microphone. None of the witnesses could really confirm the content of the conversation. But precisely because of this, the story of Jungkook and Taehyung spending a long time talking in a quiet place became so exciting to the public's imagination. In the midst of a noise-filled entertainment world, rumors about two of the world's biggest stars choosing silence to talk heart-to-heart feel stronger than any sensational news. According to a story circulating among fans, Jungkook and Taehyung were seen sitting together in a location away from the crowd. No excessive laughter, no dramatic gestures. There were only two figures who seemed to be immersed in a long conversation, occasionally falling silent, and then returning to speak with an expression that was difficult to guess. Time seemed to run slower around them, as if the world made room for something important to say. For many ARMY, this picture immediately touched the deepest emotional side. Jungkook and Taehyung aren't just roommates. They grew up together, went through adolescence under the spotlight, faced global pressures, and shouldered almost inhuman expectations. A long conversation in such a deserted place raises one big question. If not there, then where else can they talk without a mask? Speculation is also emerging. Some believe they're talking about the future, about what it's like to be at a point in life where everything has already been achieved, but the biggest questions are just beginning, about the fears they never spoke in front of the camera, about fatigue that is not always visible behind a stage smile. Jungkook, who from a young age was known as the Golden Magne, may have finally allowed himself to tell the truth about the burden of being perfect. Taehyung, with his reflective and artistic way of thinking, might be a calm, non-judgmental, just present listener. Some believe the conversation touched on identity, about who they are outside of BTS, about Kim Taehyung and Jungkook as mere mortals, not global icons. In silence, such questions sound louder. What do they really want? What makes them happy when the spotlight finally dims? And is it possible to live a simpler life after so many years of living on top of the world? Many fans also imagine that the conversation was full of emotions. Not a dramatic cry, but a quiet honesty. Sentences that may sound like, "I'm tired," or "I'm scared," or even, "I don't know what's going to happen next." Words that are rarely spoken in a public space, but are very human when spoken to someone who really understands without the need for lengthy explanations. Jungkook and Taehyung's own relationship has always attracted attention. They are different, yet complementary. Jungkook with his intensity and dedication, Taehyung with his depth of emotion and unique way of looking. In many old moments, it is seen how Taehyung gives Jungkook room to breathe, while Jungkook gives Taehyung a sense of security to be himself. A long conversation in a quiet place feels like a natural extension of that dynamic. Interestingly, the fandom's reaction to these rumors was not met with demands for evidence. There is no insistence to spill the contents of the conversation. What emerges is respect. Many ARMY wrote that not everything should be known to the public, that if Jungkook and Taehyung choose to talk in a quiet place, then the conversation deserves to remain theirs. That in an industry that often forces idols to always be open, a moment like this feels almost revolutionary. Two artists chose silence, choosing a personal space, prefer real conversations rather than public narratives. And it is precisely in that silence that fans feel closer, not further away as time passed. The story of the conversation continued to live, not as gossip, but as a symbol that behind great achievements, there is still a simple need to be heard and understood. That even Jungkook and Taehyung, with all the light that surrounds them, still need a quiet place to put the load. What exactly they're talking about may never be revealed. And maybe it's not necessary, because sometimes the power of a story lies not in the answer, but in the feeling it leaves behind. In many people's imaginations, Jungkook and Taehyung are sitting quietly, talking quietly in a quiet place. A reminder that even silence can hold the deepest truth. Silence itself seems to be a witness to sincerity that is rarely seen. In the shadow of many fans, the long conversation was not about industry gossip or sensational big plans, but rather about the little things that have been pent up, about the longing for a simpler life, about the nights when it is difficult to sleep despite the tired body, about the feeling of isolation that sometimes arises precisely when surrounded by thousands of people. In a quiet place, such words feel safer to say. Some ARMY imagined Jungkook talking more that night, about the pressure of being the strongest, about the fear of making a mistake, about the guilt of wanting to stop for a moment. Taehyung, in his calm manner, probably didn't cut the conversation much. He is known as a figure who understands that presence is often more important than advice. Sitting next to each other, listening without judging, is enough to make a person feel not alone. That it is also possible that the conversation touched on old memories. Trainee times are full of uncertainty, dreams that once seemed impossible, and small promises they make without knowing how far the journey will take them. Recalling a starting point is often a way to understand the next direction. In silence, nostalgia can be both warm and painful. What is clear is that this moment shows a side of emotional maturity that is rarely highlighted. Jungkook and Taehyung do not appear to be seeking public attention or validation. They choose each other as a place to lean, even if only temporarily. For many fans, it was the most sincere picture of friendship. No need to announce, no need to prove. This story continues to circulate. Its meaning expands. It is no longer about what to talk about, but rather about the courage to be true to yourself. It's about choosing real conversations in a world that often demands performance. And it is about understanding that even global icons remain human, with doubts, fatigue, and the need to be heard. That, in the end, perhaps we will never know the details of that long conversation. Yet it is precisely that ignorance that makes it feel so human. Because in an all-open world, there is great power in something that is allowed to remain silent. Jungkook and Taehyung, in that quiet place, seem to remind everyone that not all stories need to be shouted. Some are simply whispered, then stored in the heart. And maybe that's where the real beauty lies. Conversations that are never recorded cannot be twisted, cannot be made into sensational headlines, and cannot be consumed instantly. It remains pure, intact, and honest. In a world where Jungkook and Taehyung are almost always under the spotlight, having one conversation that only the two of them know about is a rare form of freedom. Many fans felt that this moment, even if it was just a story circulating, was enough to strengthen the belief that the bond between them was not something fragile. It is not built from a camera, but from time, patience, and shared experience. In that quiet place, without cheers and expectations, Jungkook and Taehyung still choose to hear each other. And for many, it is the simplest yet most powerful proof of the true meaning of friendship.